Clippers and the Raptors are actively discussing a deal involving all NBA forward Kawhi Leonard. Sources say Leonard's representatives have indicated he would be willing to sign a team if the Clippers choose to move on from him. Leonard has 1 season remaining on his current contract, which is due $50.3 million. So, Vinny, is it the right move for the Raptors? I mean, on paper, it's a little confusing for a young team that takes on a 35-year-old who is injury-prone, but is that the right move for them to potentially make?
Clearly, they have aspirations on becoming a championship team. I think when you look at the Toronto Raptors, what they've done historically is when they look at the NBA landscape, LeBron James is moving west, let's go get Kawhi Leonard, and we wind up winning an NBA championship. The Boston Celtics are breaking up their championship duo. The New York Knicks won a title. Cleveland is looking a little bit shaky. Detroit is looking a little bit unknown. Why don't we bring Kawhi Leonard back when you still have Scotty Barnes and some of the pieces that they have? You still have the bones of a very good defensive team, and now you are adding potentially, if Kawhi Leonard can play 65 games, if he can stay upright, as he tends to do when he's up for a contract. It's just funny how that seems to work. When money's on the line, he finds a way to play. If he's able to stay upright at 35 years old, he's shown over the past couple of years, he is still very much a reasonable facsimile of that player that we said was in the vein of a, Kobe Bryant, in the vein of a Michael Jordan in terms of two-way excellent shot-creating guards that you cannot stop. If he goes there, they are in the championship conversation, guys. Not only that, but they are also in the conversation of being a team at the trade deadline. Let's fill in the blanks. What do we need? Oh, Toronto's a destination. Like, they've shown that they have the ability to go get pieces. It's not Masai Ujiri there anymore, but it's still a huge part of that front office that shared his vision.
First of all, I don't know why, it's above me why you think Kawhi at 35 and injured is any better than LeBron James and Steph Curry at their age going to go. That's neither here.
One player compared to a million of them.
Just pointing
different
out,
ball game, brother.
Point out just something maybe think about internally and think about it a little bit. But I am with you though on this. The big I, the big F for Kawhi Leonard, and that is the health. The fit is seamless here. You're not losing too much if you're Toronto. We're probably talking about Brandon Ingram, and you slot Kawhi Leonard right there with a team that is already a top 5 defense in the league. And what did you say was the big problem with Toronto? They couldn't score in the half court. They could not score in the clutch. There's one thing Kawhi Leonard can do. He can get to the basket, and he can score down the stretch. These are the things that he is good at. He is familiar with Toronto, familiar with the Eastern Conference. He's won a championship in the Eastern Conference. And to Vinny's point, the rest of the East, everybody's taking a step back. Every team except for the Knicks has taken a major step back in the East. So Toronto, just like they did 6 years ago, they're trying to slide in with the Kawhi. Again, this has to be a better Kawhi. This is be the Kawhi we saw last year for all 82 and for through these playoffs for them to make some noise. They just took Cleveland to 7 in the first round. That team can definitely make the Eastern Conference Finals at the very least with Kawhi.
Perk, how good would Kawhi make the Raptors?
If the Clippers can make this happen, they should be crying tears of joy, doing cartwheels, somersaults, and splits, because let's keep it a buck. This has been one of the biggest disappointments in NBA history when it comes to Kawhi Leonard joining the Los Angeles Clippers. He set them back about 10 years. It's the reason that we're watching Oklahoma City Thunder do what they're doing for us being in place and set up over the next decade damn near. Sam Presti go to sleep and wake up with draft picks while having a team intact. So let's get that out the way, because it was Kawhi Leonard to trade SGA and all those picks to bring back Paul George. So let's make that very clear. But Kawhi Leonard is still a bad dude. When he get between those lines and the season he had last season, every single time he stepped on the floor, one could argue that he was the best player on the floor. One could argue that he's still the best two-way player in the game. I know people say Wemby, but Wemby kind of got exposed last in the NBA Finals by Jalen Brunson. Yes, he did. And Karl Anthony Towns. They had to hide him. We could go there if you want to, Vinny. We could go there if you want to. I see you fixing your face. We could have that conversation. But Kawhi Leonard to the Raptors instantly makes them a title contender. Last time I checked, this Raptor team took the Cleveland Cavaliers to 7 games. Brandon Ingram just didn't show up. Scotty Barnes put the world on notice that he's here. When you talk about one of the best versatile players in the game, I call him, respectfully a low-budget Giannis, what he's able to do. And now you add a Kawhi Leonard, a guy that's known to close basketball games, and you're able to keep R.J. Barrett as a third option guy. Obviously, Emmanuel Quickly over there, well coached, and we know how that fan base could get. Like in the 6, they make it a tough environment to play in. Kawhi Leonard still moves the needle. Him going to Toronto, I will put them right under the New York Knicks as the second best team in the Eastern Conference.
Perk, I swear to you, I'll be right there with you. We be all the way here, and then you just go veer the car off the road. Look, remember how we used to bag on LeBron James? Not we, me and you, but the basketball world would get on LeBron James for getting a team to the finals and then losing. That's what you're just doing to Victor Wembanyama. He didn't have a great series, but let's not forget, he took out a team on a 70-win pace, and it's a learning situation for him. But let's not mark this as a demerit. Let's not act like he is not the best defensive player on earth. Let's not act like he's going to come back bigger, stronger, better, visiting the monks, studying with KG, Tim Duncan, whomever. Let's not overreact, big fella. Come on, man.
Well,
Come back to earth.
what does it have to do with Kawhi? What does that
No. I'm there with Perk all the way. I'm completely there with Perk.
To argue with Perk. That's all. They agreed. He just wanted. They just want to yell at each other.
Because Perk spent all day yelling at me, going on this podcast, yelling at me and everything else. I just needed to take umbrage with that one thing you said, but everything else, we on the same page. Yeah. The Raptors are a championship contender with Kawhi Leonard there, and on a given night, he can be one of the best defenders on earth. He's just not the best defender on earth because it's that A-League. That's all, big fella.
But Vinny, let me say something. When we come on this show, it's facts over feelings. And I told you when I saw you in the hallway, in the studio. Matter of fact, I saw you outside by the Madison Square Garden, and you felt some type of way because I said that in the NBA Finals, it was going to be Victor Wembanyama's biggest defensive challenge going up against the Knicks. And you said, Perk, what? And I said, you just watch. And all of a sudden, Karl Anthony Towns got on his ass in Game 1 and Game 2 like back pockets. And then all of a sudden, Mitch Johnson had to hide him. They had to put somebody else on them. And then we saw in Game 4, Jalen Brunson put Victor Wembanyama in the second half, especially in the fourth quarter, brought him up in 21 of the actions, meaning I wanted you. I'm searching you out. Okay, I'm not taking anything from Wemby. All I did was praise Kawhi Leonard because he is still one of the best two-way players in the game. When it comes down to being a lockdown defender on the perimeter, go take a survey and ask any one of his peers and opponents that he got to play against, do they want to look at Kawhi Leonard eye to eye when he's on the floor?
Y'all can argue all the one thing y'all got in common is y'all disrespecting Jaylen Brown. He's the best two-way player, and Kawhi ain't even the best two-way player in the Eastern Conference if he goes
throwing new names into the mix here.
Both of them.
Well, the fact of the matter is Kawhi Leonard's missed 364 of the Clippers' 604 regular season and postseason games since he's been there in 2019. Maybe a fresh start, change of scenery will bring back that version that we saw from him when he was at his best, winning a championship with the Toronto Raptors. But we will leave that here. We've seen several former franchise stars on the move ahead of free agency, but which